Bruce Gagnon with Maine Veterans for Peace. I'm coordinating the walk. I also work for the Global Network Against Weapons and Nuclear Power in Space. The whole purpose of this walk is to shine a light on the Pentagon's impact on the oceans, and particularly the fact that the Pentagon has the largest carbon boot print on the Earth of any other institution on the planet. But the military is destroying the oceans with warfare and building bases around the planet.
I'm Nancy Larson from Orono, Maine. I'm an allied member of the Jim Harney chapter of Veterans for Peace. I've been involved a bit in peace activism over the years, but this is really my first opportunity to walk with the Veterans for Peace. I'm here because I really believe that we're doing more damage to the earth with our military.
Hi, I'm Nicole Waybright from Smithfield, Rhode Island. I'm a member of the Smedley VFP Chapter 9 in Boston. I'm here because I was a naval officer for 5 years in the Navy, in the first wave of women to be stationed aboard combatant ships. I was on a guided missile destroyer and an amphibious assault ship. In that time, I helped plan the exercises, sonar exercises, small arms and 5-inch 54 shoots over the side, and missile exercises. And at that time I was unaware of the consequences of my part, and since then I have come to the peace movement because of my experience in the military.
My name's John Morris. I live in New Gloucester, and I'm a member of the Veterans for Peace chapter in southern Maine, the Tom Sturtevant chapter. And I guess I'm walking for a lot of reasons. One being the fact that I like to walk, and I can't think of a better way to do it than walk with the people that I've met on this peace walk, and also the ones that I met last year. And I really wanted to come back and connect with some of them, get to know them better, and it's been a great experience. As far as the reasons, the political and social reasons that I'm walking, I guess it's pretty much the same as everyone else. We're pretty disgusted at the way things are being done here in the United States today, and I'm just trying to do my part to help maybe educate people and raise a little bit of awareness. I know it's hard to quantify the impact that we're having on this walk, but the longer I go, the more I feel that we are having a good effect and making more people realize what's happening. So I've been involved in protests and vigils in the past, and I've written a few letters here and there, but I've never been really committed until a while back I read a quote that I believe is attributed to the Buddha, and it's a short and simple one. It says, "To know, but to not do, is to not know." And when I read that quote, I said, yeah, that's pretty much me. And I've always kind of prided myself on knowing what's happening, but I never did a whole lot about it. So this walk is one of the things that I think is helping to correct that deficiency on my part.
song of freedom. Sing it like you've never sung before. Let it fill the air, tell the people everywhere. We the people here don't want a war.
700 million, are you listening? Most of what we read is made of lies. Speaking one-to-one, ain't it everybody's son? Wake 2 in the morning when we rise. Come and sing
A simple song of freedom. Sing it like you've never sung before. Well, let it fill the air, tell the people everywhere. We the people here don't want a war.
Hey, Mr. Black Man, can you hear me? Well, I don't want to play any games. I just want to be someone known to you as me, and I would bet my life you want the same.
Come and sing a simple song of freedom.
Sing it like you've never sung before. Well, let it fill the air, tell the people everywhere. We the people here don't want a war.
Hi, I'm Will Thomas from Auburn, New Hampshire. I'm a member of New Hampshire Veterans for Peace, and I heard the call to march from Ellsworth to Portsmouth to call attention to the imprint of the military upon our planet and particularly upon the oceans. So I heard the call, SOS, Save Our Seas. So I think the Navy here needs to hear our message, and so does the greater society.
I'm Nate Goldschlag from Arlington, Massachusetts, lifetime member, Veterans for Peace, former board member. I'm here because the military has the largest carbon footprint in the world, and the Navy is destroying the oceans in many ways. Toxins, bases, U.S. bases on Jeju Island that is destroying the environment there. And this walk is a peace walk, and it's focusing on the military's role in the oceans and destroying the oceans. And it's a very important message, I think, particularly in Maine, which has a huge coastline on the ocean. And I think that message resonates with people up in Maine.
My name's John Morris. I live in New Gloucester, and I'm a member of the Veterans for Peace chapter in southern Maine, the Tom Sturtevant chapter. And I guess I'm walking for a lot of reasons. One being the fact that I like to walk. I can't think of a better way to do it than walk with the people that I've met on this peace walk, and also the ones that I met last year. And I really wanted to come back and connect with some of them, get to know them better, and it's been a great experience. As far as the reasons, the political and social reasons that I'm walking, I guess it's pretty much the same as everyone else. We're pretty disgusted at the way things are being done here in the United States today, and I'm just trying to do my part to help maybe educate people and raise a little bit of awareness. I know it's hard to quantify the impact that we're having on this walk, but the longer I go, the more I feel that we are having a good effect and making more people realize what's happening. So that's essentially why I'm doing it. I've been involved in protests and vigils in the past, and I've written a few letters here and there, but I've never been really committed until a while back I read a quote that I believe is attributed to the Buddha, and it's a short and simple one. It says, "To know but to not do is to not know." And when I read that quote, I said, yeah, that's pretty much me. And I've always kind of prided myself on knowing what's happening, but I never did a whole lot about it. So this walk is one of the things that I think is helping to correct that deficiency on my part.
Please welcome Eric Wasilewski. Thank you, thank you. I just want to say how awesome it is to be here with you all in this time when it matters so much. We have to change the way we behave as a species if we're going to make it. And we are going to make it, and so we are going to change human behavior. This is what we're looking at. So I'm a member of Veterans for Peace, lifelong member. Lifetime member. I served on destroyers, and a few things I want to talk about with destroyers. It's aptly named. The class of ship does destroy. The ship I was on destroyed, and we destroyed in Iraq. We destroyed the environment everywhere we went. It wasn't just making war, it was practicing to make war. And what I mean by that is that our ship carried a close-in weapons system called CWIS, and the CWIS system fired depleted uranium ordnance, uranium munitions. There's nothing depleted about depleted uranium. Don't buy that line. It is uranium munitions. Each round is 2.2 pounds. We'd fire 1,000 rounds per gun per week. 1,000 rounds is 2,200 pounds, a ton of depleted uranium per gun per week per ship. The United States Navy is dumping this much depleted uranium into our oceans. Uranium munitions, it's not depleted. I'm trying not to use that word depleted. It's uranium munitions. So we're dumping, we know what happens in Iraq because of the birth defects that are happening in Iraq right now. They're off the scale, things we've never seen before. Now, we can see what happens on the land when we use these weapons. We can imagine what happens to the wildlife when we use uranium munitions. Another thing that happened when I was in the Navy, during Operation Desert Fox, a missile that we launched into Iraq with the intention of destroying Iraq, it failed to transition into flight. And so it ended up dropping in the water a few miles from us. And when it landed in the ocean, it looked like, you know, the biggest splash I had ever seen, and we made best speed over there. We were over there in about 3 minutes, 5 minutes or so. And the water was boiling from when the missile went under. And you looked out, and in just 3 minutes since it took us to get there, there were so many dead sea life. And when I'm talking about dead sea life, I'm talking about sea turtles, I'm talking about sea snakes, every kind of fish you'd ever seen before, octopuses, you know, manta rays, everything. It was all there. And they were all dead. I'm Doug Bogan. I'm with Seacoast Peace Response. I'm also director of Seacoast Anti-Pollution League, which has been watchdogging the toxic waste cleanup here at the shipyard for 20 years now. And the shipyard is a super fun site. There are many toxic and dangerous activities that occur here, particularly handling nuclear waste as they refuel these submarines. And we know that there are better uses that this land can be put toward. We know that the benefits of renewable energy, of sustainable energy practices can be brought to this facility, and this facility could be the hub of offshore wind development in particular, as a much better use of our resources, better way to generate energy for the region, and to bring us to a more sustainable future. We hope that someday this facility will be the center of that activity. So I hope you'll all join me in that hope that we can produce a sustainable future and that we can lead the way for renewable energy for this region. Thank you very much.
Welcome, Jason Ron. Good morning. The word on the street is that we spend too much money on the military. The word on the street is that we spend too much money on war. The word on the street is that we spend too much money actively and intentionally destroying the planet. 1.3 trillion, whatever that means, $1.3 trillion was the military budget for this year. And as we've heard, we know that we need that money to save the planet. We need that money to clean up toxic sites like this, where these guys are in danger just by working here. The people who live here are in danger just by living here. And since we live all on the same planet, we're all endangered by that. Divesting from the Pentagon is something that needs to happen. The student-led fossil fuel divestment movement, something like $50 billion already people have pledged, institutions and individuals have pledged to divest from that industry, and the same thing can happen with the military industry. So let's take the student-led fossil fuel divestment movement to heart and use them as an example and start our divesting from the Pentagon movement. It's what needs to happen for regeneration. We want to work away from omnicide. We can do better than this. Thank you so much for being here. I just want to extend another invitation for those of you that are enjoying this protest so much you can't wait till the next one. I wanted to let you know when the next one will be. We're having sort of a Walker reunion. We're going to have a Walker reunion next Saturday, October 31st, in Bath, Maine, at Bath Iron Works, where they are christening the next destroyer, similar to the destroyer that Eric served on, that he was talking about. Don't you think it's interesting that they use the word christening? The blessing of Christ, the Prince of Peace. The Prince of Peace is making an appearance in Bath next Saturday to christen a destroyer. It's a contradiction that doesn't make any sense. We're going to gather between 10 and 1, and we invite everyone to come and join us for a display of public outrage over this misplaced priority. And we're going to be carrying many signs with images of trains and wind turbines, talking about the need to convert Bath Iron Works to peaceful and sustainable production. So we urge you to join us between 10 and 1 next Saturday on Washington Street. The police are going to close a side street for us. That's where we'll congregate, just across the street from where thousands of people will line up to go in to witness the blessing of Christ, of this worship. And so they'll get there early, and they'll be standing there in line and in the cold with nothing to do. And so we're going to entertain them while they're there and share with them the messages from our heart. So we invite you to join with us next Saturday, 10 o'clock. And once again, thank all of you for coming today.
We can do it. Yes, we can. We can change things throughout the land. But we all must lend a hand. We can do it. Oh, yes, we can. Oh, your neighbor over there, a bit bewildered, but he cares. He just doesn't know what to do. Join together and then there'll be two. There are others all around, scattered throughout the town. Reach out and you will see your numbers swell to 3. We can do it, yes we can. We can change things throughout the land, but we all must lend a hand. We can do it, oh yes we can. Now together you form a core, and you're eager to find some more. You start knocking on other doors, and before long you're up to 4. As your numbers begin to grow, you're expanding what you know. You're a movement when you reach 5, and now watched by the FBI. We can do it, yes we can. We can change things throughout the land, but we all must lend a hand. We can do it, oh yes we can. You may ask, what can one do when the problems seem so huge? Start to learn, work my friends. Keep your eyes on the prize to the end. 'Cause the problems can all be solved with dedication and a little resolve. Obstacles slowly dissolve when we all just get involved. We can do it, yes we can. We can change things throughout the land, but we all must lend a hand. We can do it, oh yes we can. Before long, you're up to 10, and the process begins again. There is someone in the next town, got the word and is spreading it around. 'Cause an idea, its time has come, cannot be stopped by anyone. Plant your seeds in fertile ground. There ain't nothing gonna keep it down. Oh, we can do it, yes we can. We can change things throughout the land, but we all must lend a hand. We can do it, oh yes we can. We can do it, yes we can. We can change things throughout the land, but we all must lend a hand. We can do it, oh yes we can. We can do it, yes we can. We can change things throughout the land,